Hey there, lady. My name is Molly Conley, and I'm devoted to helping women reinvent their love lives, whether that's after divorce, dating on and off the apps, or in their committed relationship. Why? Because I've been there. I'm a former college athlete who filed for divorce 3 years into marriage, swam in the online dating pool into my late 30s, and now I am married to the man of my spreadsheet dreams who I met 4 months before the world shut down. As a dating and relationship coach, I help my clients shift the focus from being obsessed with finding Mr. Right to shifting to herself as Miss Right Now. We build a foundation filled with clarity, connection, and confidence, knowing she is worth waiting for. Each week on the podcast, I'll bring you love life insights and savvy guests, where you will receive the courage to release programmed limiting beliefs. Discover patterns and behaviors restricting you from finding and attracting quality men, and ways to choose yourself first so you can build a foundation for a healthy relationship with yourself and a partner. Hey there, lady. Welcome back to Reinventing the Arena. Thank you so much for listening. I've been extremely focused on the podcast lately, and I'm so excited for the podcast episodes that are coming up, especially in the next couple of weeks. But I'm curious, have any of these episodes been insightful or made a difference for you? If so, would you mind leaving me a rating by tapping on the stars, located on this podcast? Or maybe just take a minute out of your day and leave a quick review. It would mean the world to me. If you've listened to the past few episodes, I've been very focused on dating patterns or even relationship patterns and how you're sabotaging yourself from finding love. I discussed perfectionism in episode 36 and justification on episode 39. Those are two of the three that I see, out of most of my clients who are ambitious, successful, high achieving women. And today I'm sharing the third, which is people pleasing. If you listen to episode 36 in my perfectionism episode, I mentioned that most of the time for perfectionists, they feel like they're not living up to other people's standards, or maybe they're feeling like they are not living up to their own standards in certain areas of their lives. As a recovering perfectionist and a recovering people pleaser, I can say for sure that's how I have felt in my life. I don't know about you. So when you're a perfectionist, there might also be times where you are flipping to people-pleasing mode and vice versa. Maybe you feel like you aren't enough for the current person you're dating or someone that maybe you've dated in the past. And so what you do is you try to be perfect for them in any sort of way that makes any sort of approval. And this is still people-pleasing with a hint of perfectionism. Honestly, I feel that this one is so easy to see, but it's one of the most difficult to overcome, especially for women. Now, I have seen this in men sometimes, but it was when I used to coach men, specifically coaching men over their career. With that said, I know that some men listen to this podcast, so here's where I see this showing up for men in their careers. So maybe you don't feel like you're good enough because you didn't get that promotion to become a manager. So you people please, or what some people like to call brown nosing, your boss for any additional project or help them with anything and everything. Or, you don't feel good enough because you're not making a certain amount of income. So you say yes to anything that will bring additional income. Or maybe you help out around the house more than what you normally would do so that your wife can take on new responsibilities at work. Now, whatever it is tied to your career, you're going to see the side effects of that in your relationship with your partner. So here's an example. Let's say you don't feel good enough at work. So when you come home, you're lethargic and you sit down on the couch for hours. Your wife or your partner calls you lazy or thinks that you don't want to spend time with her when you're literally stuck feeling so bad for yourself. And with your friends, you're going to feel like you're constantly comparing yourself to their accomplishments, whether that's at work or something in their personal lives. Obviously, this is just another way for women to also know how it's not only affecting men in their lives, but you can flip it so you can possibly see how it's showing up for you too in these settings. Personally, I feel like people pleasing is really difficult to separate from being a woman in general because we are conditioned to be of service, whether that's taking care of our partners or taking care of the housework, or also needing to bring in additional income, or, even how we have to present ourselves in a certain way. And just like perfectionism, this can show up in early childhood around not meeting other people's expectations, but wanting and craving that validation and acceptance so much that you will do whatever it takes to make the other people happy. With that said, when you make other people happy through people pleasing, it does give you the reward of feeling happy as well. So, to me, this is one of the reasons why it's really difficult to stop people pleasing. Because as you do things for other people, you get this reward of a feeling that you contributed or you made a difference, even if you're self sacrificing your needs. I'm going to pause this episode for a minute. If this sounds like something you need to have in your life, I want you to consider working with me one on one. Right now, I'm filling spots to begin working with me in August of 2023. I believe doing the inner work is the most effective and important process to build a healthy relationship. And that's exactly what I do with my clients. I am not here to fix your dating profile or match you with their dream man. I am here to help you go all in for yourself because that's where the magic and love is. I meet you where you are and I help hold you accountable throughout the process. It doesn't matter if you've been doing the work for years and still haven't figured it out, or if you've never had a coach before to help you with personal development and love. All that matters is that you're fed up with where you are right now and you want to get serious about finding a healthy, loving relationship. And you're ready to invest the time and the money to radically change your life in the next 6 to 12 months. If that is you, head over to reinventingthearena.com/private coaching to apply for one-on-one coaching and be added to my wait list. I will be in touch. Now, let's get back to the episode. So, like I said, people pleasing is one of the most common sabotaging behaviors I see in my clients. And like I said, I'm a recovering people pleaser, and it can be one of the most difficult sabotaging behaviors to overcome. But there are ways that you can start breaking free from people pleasing. So I'm going to start you out with one of the lowest hanging fruits because it's going to help you harvest all the fruit in the long run. You can start by keeping a journal or a document on your phone where you write down the following, either as it happens or at the end of the day. First, who are you trying to please? Is it your boss, your mom, your friends, your current partner? It could even be a stranger. Number two, what did you do? Maybe you agreed to work late even though you have plans. Maybe you told your mom that you would pick up dinner across town when you feel stressed to the max. Number three, what happened? Did you do whatever you said you were going to do? If not, write that down too. Number four, how did you feel after it was complete? Number five, how did the other person behave or say after it was complete? Now, if you didn't do what you said you were going to do, answer it this way. How did you feel about not doing it? And how did the other person react or respond? For clarity here, reacting is different than responding. Reacting is immediate and can have a variety of emotions and actions come up for the person. I want you to think of, if you have a pet, this is going to work really well. Think of a sleeping cat or a dog, and a firework goes off. They jump off, like they jump around and run away. Like that's their initial reaction. That's reacting. Responding has more of an emotional intelligence tied to it. The person isn't, self-focused, but is able to look at the situation holistically. They can take into account why you might not have been able to help out in the first place, which is allowing them to rationalize. More often than not, there's zero hard feelings around this, but if you are a people pleaser, you may still feel like you let that person down. I want you to try to log your people pleasing behaviors for 7 days. Now, if you're not consistent, no worry, but I want you to have 7 days logged. Then I want you to go back through your notes and see where there are patterns. Is it a particular person? Or did you have similar feelings afterward? If you said no or couldn't help, was the person consistently reacting or responding? This last question is key because I'm going to share a secret that helped me tremendously put my people pleaser into check. When you weren't able to help a person and they responded versus reacting, those are indicators that this person is going to be easier to set boundaries with, and these will be the first people that you can start doing that with. Why? Because taking action will help you build confidence, build stronger relationships, and build better boundaries so that you can take care of you first. Then, when you say no or not able to help out those people who react, you already have expertise of setting boundaries. The next step with those people who react will be if you actually benefit with having them in your life. Let's say it's a family member. It might be time to set boundaries with yourself where you distance yourself from either, availability, communication, and even resources. You may notice people who react are heavily reliant on codependent relationships. But being codependent is not a healthy way to have a relationship, whether that's romantic or one with a family member. You are not in charge, let alone in control of other people's happiness. You can only control your emotions, which is why your happiness is the most important piece to loving yourself fully so you can build a healthy relationship with a partner. If you need me to repeat that, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. You are not in charge of other people's emotions. You are only in control of yours, which is why your happiness is the most important piece to loving yourself. When you can love yourself, it's easier for you to build a healthy relationship with a partner. Okay, now that I said that, let me know how people pleasing goes for you. If you're on my email list, you can reply to me at any time or send me a message on Instagram. If you're not on my list, well, take my 16-question quiz that walks you through different dating scenarios to figure out what your dominating sabotaging behavior is. All right, lady, I will be back next week on Tuesday and Thursday before my medical leave, but I won't be leaving you hanging. Like I said when I first started, I have some great podcast episodes ready for you, 8 of them to be exact. So make sure to hit the follow or subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode when I'm out for the month of July. Until next time, have some fun and enjoy yourself as you try dating this summer. I have to stop this podcast episode for a second and tell you a story about how I met the perfect man for me. And he's not my husband. He was handsome, funny, looked great on paper, but after 2 months, I noticed he wasn't reciprocating in the relationship. He was covering up deep emotional pain that he was refusing to deal with. He was unwilling to work on himself. And that's when I realized I was doing the exact same thing. He had become a mirror to my issues. I was cutting myself off from my emotions, forcing myself not to feel anything, which made dating and connecting with a man impossible, to say the least. I had built up other walls around my heart so the emotions wouldn't seep through. And those walls led me to develop behaviors, like those self-sabotaging ones I tell you all about, to keep others at bay. I thought I wouldn't get hurt. I thought I was protecting myself, but I was wrong. So I quit dating. I had to take my emotions seriously and break down the walls if I was going to ever have a real, healthy, and loving relationship. I had to be patient and persistent. I had to learn more about myself and why I put those walls up in the first place. As an ambitious, successful woman, you have walls up too, and you put them there for a reason. Whether you're pushing your emotions down after a breakup by eating pizza and ice cream, or even just showing up confident and unfazed after a horrible situation when you're really faking it until you make it home. You need to break down those walls and build a foundation for yourself so you can have the healthy, loving relationship you crave, which is why I'm looking back at how I did it, how I broke through those walls, how I built my foundation to not only know my worth, but care, love, and trust myself, to set boundaries and standards so I didn't end up heartbroken once again, to build confidence by taking action, to developing a sense of knowing and learning true patience. All of this so I could help you do it too. This fall, I'm launching a group course called Building Love Inside and Out. It's going to have 8 live courses and 8 coaching experiences. It's limited to 10 women by application only, and it starts September 18th. It will run for only 8 weeks. I'm letting you know this now so you can join the waitlist, which has 3 benefits that I will not be giving out anywhere else. One of them is $500 off the group coaching course just for joining the waitlist. I will be releasing more information soon, but the waitlist always gets full details before anyone else. Now, back to the episode.